Hi, this is Morley, and this is the M-Wire. My apologies for my absence, folks. Unfortunately, after Christmas, I experienced a death in the immediate family. I just needed some time to myself just to kind of let it resonate and grieve in my own way. But I just realized that I'm still alive and my life goes on and, everything continues. Just because you lose somebody doesn't mean that your own life is over. So, having said that, I missed you all. I'm here to make a video, obviously, on Russia. Quite a bit has been going on there since I last made a video. I'll pick up where I left off. Basically, Vladimir Putin had another meeting with Joe Biden. They had a conversation that lasted approximately 1 hour. And I think it's more of the same rhetoric that they've been spewing to each other since the last conversation. Vladimir Putin is still adamant about his stance on eastern expansion of NATO. It's not okay in his books. There's no negotiating around it. That is the one sticking point that he absolutely and positively will not budge on. And NATO is obviously of the mind that they can expand anywhere they like without having to ask permission, as it were, from the Russian Federation. Now, what's happening over the next few days is there's going to be a lot of meetings between ambassadors of NATO, the EU, the United States, all talking about Russia. Some of these conversations will obviously include people from the Russian delegation, but I personally don't think that these meetings will do anything. Since these meetings have been taking place, I'm referring to the one that Vladimir Putin had with Joe Biden, he's doing nothing but amassing even more troops on the Ukrainian border, actually. So they're talking about de-escalating, and he's just escalating. So that's a very good mirror as to how seriously he's taking all of these meetings and conversations. Like, I personally think that he is just posturing. He's simply showing the world that, okay, we tried to work this out diplomatically, it didn't work, so I'm just going to invade Ukraine because everything failed. Now, the West keeps threatening Russia with sanctions if he does invade Ukraine. So they're trying a non-confrontational approach to a very confrontational situation, which is quite asinine in my opinion. You fight fire with fire. You don't threaten to snub him on the nose with a rolled-up newspaper, as it were. And as a result, if you look at the markets, the financial markets, Russia has been buying a lot of gold and a lot of cryptocurrency as of recently. So I think they're somehow preparing for any economic fallout should the West decide to sanction Russia and make it hard for them to do business. They will just carry on. And remember, folks, that Russia can turn the gas off to Europe as quickly as they want to. So that would be their way of sanctioning Europe, if you will, if they want to play hardball and start imposing these very staunch, very ominous economic sanctions on Russia. Even the mainstream outlets like Fox News have been saying things over the last couple of days like a Russian invasion of Ukraine. They referred to it as very likely, and that's coming from Adam Schiff, one of the top intels for the United States. So as I said, these meetings in the coming days are nothing more than theater, in my humble opinion. I don't think anything will come of these meetings because I don't think either side is going to budge. As I said, NATO is adamant that they can admit whoever they want, and Russia is very quick to say, not so fast. I personally think from a tactical perspective, Putin is essentially waiting till the dead of winter to attack. He's waiting for the ground to be absolutely frozen, so he has nothing but hard ground to run his tanks and other military equipment on to invade. Because the part of Russia, the Donbass region, when it's warmer, is kind of swampy. So he's just looking for ideal ground and ideal terrain to invade upon. As far as the Ukraine goes, in terms of the imminent Russian invasion, they're actually training civilians now to basically, as best they can, fight off this imminent Russian invasion. The fact that they're training civilians, in my opinion, just screams of desperation because they know that their military is absolutely no match for Russia's. Now, I don't think that any other country is preparing militarily to assist Ukraine in the event that Russia does invade. As I've said before, the United States has gone as far as to supply aid to Ukraine in terms of military equipment, but in terms of boots on the ground and stuff like that, there's no force that's assembling in Europe that's anywhere close to the amount of troops that Russia currently has on the ground now, which is estimated at about 150 to 250,000. So if Russia invades Ukraine, the rest of the world is going to sanction Russia and essentially just let them run their military all over Ukraine and potentially even into other countries, folks. I mean, you think about it militarily. If, let's hypothetically say that Russia could take Ukraine in a matter of a week, and that's realistic. They could probably take at least half of it, I would say, in that time, very conservatively, if not the entire country. So if you roll over a country that quickly and that easily, why would you stop? Think about that for a second. Why would you just stop at that country? Why wouldn't you invade another country that you know has no military ready to deflect your attack? And it would be like cherry picking. What would these other potential countries do if they have absolutely no military at the ready prepared to ward off Russia if they invaded their country physically? And as we've seen before in the past weeks, Russia is prepared to go nuclear if they decide it's necessary. They might not even invade Ukraine and just, nuke a mid-sized country. That we don't know that they won't. Many are under the impression that just because a nuclear bomb hasn't been actually used in a war since World War II, that they're off the table. Well, not necessarily. Vladimir Putin just might make a very strong statement with one. If not that, maybe even an EMP attack or something like that. We don't know, folks. We live in absolutely crazy times. I don't think I need to tell you that at this point, but with these talks that are coming in the next couple of days, I don't think that anything's going to become of it. I think it's just posturing on Russians' part to say that, well, we tried the diplomatic route, it didn't work, so we have no choice but to invade Ukraine. I don't think Vladimir Putin is going to go home empty this time, folks. I really don't, but I welcome your thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming along with me to this update. I certainly appreciate it. And until the next one, God bless.